Phase 4 was trash.
Shut up. Happy New Year, all my movie-loving maniacs, or at least Happy New Year at the time when I'm recording this video, and it's the new year. But as 2022 was coming to a close, you know, everybody had a time to do a lot of reflecting, and I did a lot of reflecting, particularly on Marvel Phase 4, because Marvel Phase 4 has had a lot of growing pains, to say the least. Say what? But, you know, I say, like, it had its ups and it has its downs, but some of its downs have definitely been a detriment to Phase 4. But I'm here to offer, like, a couple of things that Marvel can do to pretty much be successful going forward. But I also brought on I brought back Dave the Pessimist, who has been in a couple of my videos. He's done a couple of conversation-related videos. He's been a judge on 2 of my movie fights tournaments. You probably seen last week when I was uploading all the movie fights from Friendsgiving. You might have heard him, especially on episode or match 3 when he was laying down what Zudi could have done to win that match. You know what? Yeah.
Basically, I won the match for Zudi if I participated.
Basically, yeah, and I'm definitely trying to bring you back as a fighter. So the next time we do a tournament. So
as long as you don't put me with Felicia, she'll just win. That's the hard fight. That's a hard fight.
Oh, we'll see about that. Oh. But until then, right now, so yeah, I brought back Dave the Pessimist. How you doing now?
Oh, still sore, but
yeah. So for this video, we're talking about Marvel Phase 4, and I want to ask you because I know a couple of things about you, but I know that you haven't been too fond of Marvel Phase 4, and I know also that you haven't seen everything. Well, you haven't seen most of the shows. You've seen most of the movies, except for all the movies that apparently have new characters, which is weird to me. So
it's not weird to me.
The newer characters like Shang. Well, we'll get into that in a sec. But I also know, like, also part of the reason why you haven't kept up with Marvel really is because I know 2022 you've had a busy life with work and everything, and so it's like you want to spend your time wisely on what you're willing to watch TV and movies on. But why don't you give me your general thoughts on Marvel Phase 4 thus far? And I'll give you a quick rundown on what was in Phase 4. So movie wise, it was Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder, and just recently Black Panther Wakanda Forever. On the show side of things, we had WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, What If Season 1, Hawkeye, Moonlight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, and 2 specials, the Werewolf by Night and the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. And of course, you know, you had them little Iron Groot shorts, but I don't really count all that. You know, that's just more of a franchising thing than a Marvel thing. So, but what are your thoughts on Phase 4? And please tell me, how is it that you've watched all the Phase 4 movies with pre-established characters over the newer characters like Shang-Chi and Eternals?
Look. I'm just tired, all right? I'm tired of Marvel. I want something new. I'm just tired of Marvel at this point.
And they give you something new with Shang-Chi and Eternals.
I mean, sure, but...
You tired of the Marvel formula?
Yes, absolutely. I'm so tired of the Marvel formula. Like, I'm sincerely worried about Blade at this point. Sincerely worried about Blade. Is it still rated PG-13, or do they actually make it R?
Right now it's unconfirmed what the movie's going to be rated. Right now they're just going through production hell. Right now they lost a director, and I think they got a new one. And Mahershala Ali, he's getting frustrated because that movie was announced like they're coming up on 4 years ago, and nothing still hasn't really materialized. So,
well, I guess Blade is in the shitter then. So that's how. Shang-Chi. I just haven't gotten to Shang-Chi. No, I haven't gotten to Shang-Chi, and I don't really want to get to Shang-Chi because I don't recall ever reading his comics.
So, and how many people knew of the Guardians of the Galaxy? No, not no so and so. People's knowledge of Guardians of the Galaxy begin and end with Rocket Raccoon on the Marvel vs. Capcom video games, and that's really it. So. But otherwise, those were like at the bottom of the barrel characters, and that's how I view Shang-Chi. He's just another bottom of the barrel Marvel character that Marvel's like, hey, you know about all these characters, but here's a brand new character, and he's just as cool as these other characters. So
The same thing with Iron Man. Iron Man worked though.
no, I say Iron Man, he's more so C-list, and then Guardians, that was more so D-list or below.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, Eternals. Eternals had a timing. I think Eternals had a timing problem, really, because they went through how many millennia, centuries?
Yeah.
And like 2.5 hours.
I will say, yeah. Eternals could have been more so a TV show than anything.
Yes, it definitely deserved to be like a miniseries.
Yeah.
In all honesty, that's why. So I just said no. I knew what was going to happen. So no to Eternals. Shang-Chi, I was just lazy. I'll be honest.
Well, stop being lazy.
No.
But Eternals, like, I actually one of the few people in the world that actually liked Eternals. I liked it for how different it was, despite the fact that I think it could have been a TV series. But overall, like, yeah.
I'll take the difference.
Yeah. But otherwise, yeah, so the TV shows, yeah, that's a whole other conversation. But we'll get into, I've come up with like 6 things that Marvel can do going forward, how I just think Marvel can improve just a little bit. And so, rule number 1 is, well, first off, my number 1 is to keep what's working. Like, yeah, we finished with the Infinity Saga, but there's still things that still potentially could work. Like, and yes, we lost Chadwick Boseman, but we still have Wakanda, and there's still things in the Wakanda side of things that I feel still could work and could benefit in the long run.
I don't know. They kind of lost a lot with Chadwick Boseman being gone. Like, Storm was married to T'Challa at one point. So.
Yeah, but they haven't even touched on X-Men yet, and we don't know what their plans are for that. So we just have to see with that. And plus, well, spoiler alert for a movie that's been out for 2 months and is hitting Disney Plus on January 20th. But Wakanda Forever, as we all know, like, sure, she's the new Black Panther, but she's not the ruler of Wakanda. And so, in T'Challa, he had a young son that nobody knew about, and so he's just so I see why they just have him there, so that when he's old enough, he can be the new king of Wakanda, and sure, he could train him or whatever the case may be, and that could also tie into the Young Avengers that they've been setting up for the past couple of movies and shows. So
Jesus, here we go. Okay, go for it. Mm-hmm. They scrapped the what is it?
She-Hulk?
Yeah, no, not She-Hulk. The Marvel She-Universe. They finally scrapped that.
We'll get to that in a bit, and fuck you for that too. but no. Shit, what else was about? Oh yeah, so Thor. I say with Thor, just get rid of Taika Waititi and get him a new director, and I feel like Thor as a character could be salvaged. Like, I feel like there's a lot of things in the Marvel universe that's still good that could still work. It's just they just get the right people to take those characters in the direction that they either were, just put them on a straight and narrow. So that's how I feel. Just keep what's working. My number 2 thing that Marvel can do to stay relevant is, I'm gonna put some emphasis on this. My number 2, either slow the fuck down or find a number 2. And what I mean by that is because Kevin Feige, he's the one spearheading everything, but Phase 4, he wasn't as hands-on on everything, particularly when it comes to the shows. And of course, because, you got like 3 or 4 movies coming out every year, then you got X amount of shows coming out every year, and that's just too much for one man to do. So either cut back on the shows or movies, or find yourself a number 2 and use that number 2. Like, the number 2, he can handle the show side of things, while Kevin Feige, he can handle the movie sides of things. And just every now and then they come together like, all right, this is what we got going on here, this is what we got going on here. Let's find a way to pretty much mesh all that together, so that, all right, this is where we're going collectively, and just making sure, like, we stay there and we'll be good. And every now and then just come back and just check up on everything.
Yeah, so, but who would you pick as a number 2, though?
We don't know, but they would have to really do some soul searching to find just the right person.
I refuse to have another Kathleen Kennedy.
We're
not doing that again.
That has nothing to do with Marvel, though.
It's still the same. No. It's under the same mouse.
I'm just saying, like we saw what they were like right now. Just to quote well, not quote, but reference Warner Brothers, how they went out and got James Gunn, who actually has some passion for the DC universe, and that's really all they just need. They have someone that's just as passionate as Kevin Feige is for the Marvel comics, and that's willing to play ball with him. So Get someone who's passionate about these shows and actually cares about these shows. It's all about finding the right people, but also have a good business mindset, but also having the right, but also what's the word? But also has the same passion for the material as well. So, but your thoughts on that though?
Good luck. That's my thought. Good luck. You'll never have that. They're gonna have to slow down. They're honestly just gonna have to slow down, because there's no way they're gonna find a number two. Kevin Feige was an outlier, as I like to say. He is a rare.
I mean, hey, you never know. But hey, either or is fine with me though. And so, all right. So now we finally talk about something that you brought up, which gets on my nerves nowadays. And so my number 3 is try harder with your female and non-white characters.
Fuck that.
No,
Get rid of
no,
it.
hold on.
Rid.
No, let me say. I'm gonna just say this. Now, yes, on one hand, yes, I am just tired and not in the mood for these anti-woke motherfuckers that ain't got nothing better to do but spread their ignorance and hate towards these female characters and white characters. But on the other hand, even some of the biggest fans of Marvel will say, like, yeah, these characters they didn't have the strongest writing. So I'm not just gonna say no, get rid of it. Though I will say there does need to be more of a balance. But overall, I say just try hard with them, write them better, and just don't do what you did with She-Hulk, where you just hire someone who doesn't know how to write good courtroom scenes and doesn't know jack about the material. Like, get people that knows these characters, but also has pure intentions for whatever political message they're trying to spread or whatever, but still, like, pretty much keep the creative first, and then all the political stuff or whatever, that should be second. So, and yes, I will say that there was an image where it was basically every female character is now in an Avengers position. I'm like, I'm all for this, but there still needs to be some balance. And so, yeah, and I've gone on a rant about anti-woke motherfuckers just bashing wokeness in media or whatever. Y'all know how I feel about that, but I also try to be fair or whatever. But David, you pessimistic motherfucker.
Yeah, you knew I was right. You know I was right.
I'm not saying
Let's be honest. Being woke is the new toxic right now. It's the person that throws the biggest stone. Person that blows the biggest stone, the SGW warriors, SGWs, whatever the hell they are. Mm-hmm. Those are the woke folks right now. And guess what? They all have glass houses. All of them have glass houses. Honestly, I say just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. If you're not going to focus on the story at all. Or just focus on the story and just say...
And that's what I'm saying. Like, focus on the story first, and then all the woke stuff should come second.
No. Don't even put in the woke stuff. If they're black, whatever. If they're a woman, whatever. That, and you have years of material to pull from. Years of materials to pull from. Do not be like Kathleen Kennedy and say,
Jesus,
it's just not canon. Don't do that. There's a reason why we want to see comic books come to the movie screen, so we can pull the pages onto the film and just watch it. Like, some of these characters are actually good characters. She-Hulk is a fucking good character. Black Widow, decent character. I'm not gonna bullshit it. What's her name? Wanda. What?
It's the Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch is a serious character. She is world-breaking. There was a comic issue where she said, no more mutants, and all the mutants just disappeared. She is a hell of a character, but they fucked her over, in my opinion.
I mean, you talking about things that happened in the comics that they're probably saving for another time. So who's to say it still couldn't happen though?
But there comes a time and point where you just got to stop throwing out the origin story and sometimes jump a little bit ahead. Like they did with the Batman. It was year 2 for Batman. Yeah. It literally said that in the movie, year 2, and people went out to see it, even though it was 3 hours long.
I mean, this universe's version of Spider-Man was already hitting the ground running, so...
Fair enough. But, And for God's sakes, don't do a gender swap. Stop doing gender swaps. Stop doing bait and switches. Stop doing all that shit. If he was white, keep him white. If you want a black character, make a new black character. Do not be fucking lazy and just gender or race swap them. That is the laziest, uncreative thing that could ever take place. The laziest thing. You don't get paid thousands of dollars to be that fucking lazy. But go ahead. Next question.
You pessimistic motherfucker.
It's true. It's not pessimism. It's honesty.
So my number 4 thing that Marvel could do to improve is turn it down a notch with the comedy, which is a criticism I had the most with Thor: Love and Thunder. And while I enjoyed it in Thor Ragnarok, I felt Taika Waititi, he just overdid it with Thor: Love and Thunder. And it's not an issue that started with Thor: Love and Thunder. It also started with other movies. Like, I feel like it all started with Guardians of the Galaxy with James Gunn, and how he just fused comedy in places where it's not necessary, but at the same time it still makes sense. And I felt that that's when he overdid it with the second movie. And then Marvel, they called wind of that. They just said, let's keep going with that. Let's keep going with that. And it's just like, Marvel, you can let us go without a joke for 10 minutes, all right? So I feel like there just needs to be more of a balance with pretty much stop using comedy to undercut serious moments. So, like, for example, in Thor: Love and Thunder, and how Jane Foster in the movie, she had stage 4 cancer, and they just kept making joke after joke or whatever. Or even going back to Thor Ragnarok, how Asgard got blown up, and then you got the core character saying, like, don't worry, Asgard can be rebuilt and it'll be a safe heaven for new Asgards. And then actually, and then he's just like, well, now those foundations are gone. I'm like, you couldn't let that ride out for a second. So just turn it down a notch with the comedy.
Well, but it's part of the Marvel formula, Brad.
Yeah, but
it's making money, Brad.
No, but it'll make more money if that's why I say these are growing pains. It'll make more money if Marvel just turn it down a notch, and people will appreciate it more. So.
Or just stick with the characters that are known for it. Thor was never really a comedic character.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because like they switched the tone with Thor in Thor Ragnarok, and then they just overdid it with Thor: Love and Thunder. And now I'm just like, can we go back to Thor 1, Thor, please? So, but you are right though. Like, certain characters, it does warrant the comedic aspect, but certain other characters, it doesn't though. So, any other thoughts on that suggestion?
I do feel like in Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, they had a little. It was supposed to be a horror film, but some parts of it felt like a
comedy.
Just some parts didn't feel right. Like,
yeah. I mean, also keep in mind, like, the Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness was made by Sam Raimi, who made the 3 Tobey Maguire movies. So make of that what you will.
Okay, I'll take that.
Mm-hmm. Though I will say I am mad at Sam Raimi for that, because he made that movie and not even watch WandaVision, which don't make sense to me. Like, how are you going to be handed a character that came from a TV show and not know what she went through in that show and just write her in, like, yeah.
I mean, it worked out in the end.
I mean, yeah, but...
To a degree.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you couldn't take 9 hours out of your day just to watch 9 hours of television. So yeah, that's my number 4. My number 5 thing that Marvel can do to pretty much improve is get top talent. And if you get top talent, back the fuck off. And what I mean by that is, like, look, and I will even say, like, the Marvel formula, it's important, but at the same time, it shouldn't be so important that only filmmakers with nothing to lose are willing to work with it. And I'm looking at you, Peyton Reed, who is the director of the first 2 Ant-Man movies, and he was brought back to make Ant-Man Quantumania. And granted, I saw the trailer, I'm like, okay, this could be different from the first 2 movies, but still, it doesn't change the fact that before we saw that trailer, I'm just like, okay, like, I'm all for Ant-Man 3, but can we get a different director, please? Because I'm getting a little fatigued from what we got in the first 2 Ant-Man movies. Like, let someone else play in the sandbox. And that's also a little contradiction, because James Gunn, he now made all 3 Guardians of the Galaxy movies, including the holiday special. But James Gunn, I feel like he is the exception and not the rule. But what I also mean by get more top talent is get more filmmakers who don't get filmmakers for hire, is what I'm saying. And you could also make the argument, am I saying that Ryan Coogler is a filmmaker for hire? But again, he is the exception, not the rule. So,
yes and no. Yes and no. I think you need to. I want to say give. I want to say give people a chance, but have them be supervised. Is a better thing.
yeah. Like throwing a safety net for just in case.
It's like, no, that don't sound right. Let's do this.
Basically, because that's how we ended up with the mess and this is where I'll bring in Lucasfilm. That's how we ended up with the mess with for example, with Solo. How Kathleen Kennedy, she hired 2 directors to make Solo, and then they left halfway through production because they were making a movie that Kathleen Kennedy didn't agree on. So just get directors that, well, before you get new directors, and if you get top talent directors, make sure both of y'all are on the same page before making the movie. And I think that, and to go back to Blade, that's also the issue with Blade, is like they're not willing to get someone that can elevate Blade to what it needs to be. They're trying to get a safe director for hire that can make a movie that fits into whatever Marvel and by extension Disney wants Blade to be. And it's like, no, like hire a passionate filmmaker. So
I honestly think Blade is not meant for Disney in period, but hey, that's a whole different conversation.
yeah. I mean, we're getting a new version of Daredevil, so Lord knows how that's going to turn out. I mean, for She-Hulk, I have issues with She-Hulk, but for what it's worth, I did like the Daredevil episode of She-Hulk, and I'm excited to see that. But still, it's not the Netflix version. But hey, the only way I can justify is that is just the multiverse. So we'll see. But any other thoughts on that rule?
Not really.
All right, well then my 6th and final thing that Marvel can do to improve itself, and it's something that I've been saying for the past couple of years ever since the Infinity Saga ended, and it's stop taking your dominance for granted. I feel like that is the number one thing that Marvel really needs to do, because we all love Marvel and they were successful at one point. Well, they still, however you view them, they are still successful, but quality wise, they are kind of dropping a little bit. And I feel like they've gotten to a point where like, well, they can put on anything and people will show out to see it. And if the box office for the 3 movies that they put out this year didn't even make $1 billion, though I'm still holding out hope for Wakanda Forever. But if those 3 movies not making $1 billion are any indicators, like hopefully that is a sign to Marvel, like maybe we should just stop and just reevaluate how we're doing things here. And since Bob Chapek, one of the former CEOs at Disney, he left, and so maybe Bob Iger, he's coming back in, and maybe he can set things straight. But yeah, Marvel, y'all really need to stop taking your dominance for granted, especially right now, since DC, right now, they're restructuring, and to be honest, I'm a little excited more so for DC, because I like a studio that can admit that they've made some mistakes in the past, and is now working extra hard to win back the goodwill of its fans. And so, I feel like right now, Marvel, y'all just so used to winning right now that you've kind of gotten lazy over the years. So, that's my rule for that. What's your take on that?
I think Marvel needs to take an L. I honestly think Marvel needs to take an L.
You feel like they haven't taken enough L's?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Well,
like you said, they're still successful. They may be successful because of quantity over quality, but they haven't taken a definitive L. Like, I pray to...
Like, what is the biggest L you think they need to take right now?
The biggest L they need to take right now, and I hate to say it, but I think that the biggest L they need to take right now is that they don't break even for one of their shows or movies, because they still make a profit. If they don't even break even on one of their shows or movies, which I'm looking at you, Fantastic Four, I know that's going to take a hard L, but and I hate to say it, from what I'm hearing about Blade, it's going to be in production hell for a long time. That's probably going to take a hard L too. Once they take those L's, I think that's when Disney will finally say, maybe this ain't working out.
Or just back the fuck off, Disney. Because I will say that is another thing of how Disney also plays a part in this, because I feel like Disney is really strongholding Marvel, because it's like, all right, we got this app, we got this new streaming service, Disney Plus, and now it's just like, all right, let's get stuff out. They just too busy trying to meet a quota that that is becoming a detriment to the quality of some if not most of the stuff that they're putting out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But as far as Fantastic Four goes, I'm still optimistic about that because of the talent that's involved in that. And I keep telling you this over and over. Marvel Studios, they have their hands on the Fantastic Four. There is no way in hell they're gonna let Fantastic Four go wrong again. It didn't happen 4 times, but it didn't happen 4 times already. I have hope that they're not going to let that go wrong again.
Oh, no. The losing streak is going to continue. I promise you, that losing streak is going to continue. They had top talent before in the last Fantastic Four. They had Michael B. Jordan in there.
Yeah, but that was pre-Black Panther Michael B. Jordan. Yeah,
they still gonna take that L. I know they're gonna take that L.
I didn't forget our little bet on that.
Yeah, what was it? $5, $10?
Yeah.
Oh, you see.
Yeah, I bet that. Well, I'm not gonna bet how much money you make, but I bet that it's a better movie than what we've got before, though. We'll see about that. You want to bet?
Sure. I got 5 on it.
500. I said $5.
5 on it, not 500.
Oh, I was about to say.
I sure shit ain't gonna bet 500. We'll never be friends again when I take your money.
Yeah, well, damn sure. But yeah, I definitely agree. Like, yeah, if one of the movies doesn't break even, then yeah, that will be that is a new low for Marvel. Even though, well, yeah, and again, I feel like they've already taken L's. I mean, Thor: Love and Thunder, that was one of the least grossing ones of the Thor movies.
But it still made a profit.
I know. Yeah, but still by the standards of the other movies, it's still an L. In Eternals, it's the lowest rated Marvel movie on Rotten Tomatoes. What other L's have they taken? Oh, Ms. Marvel it had the least viewership on Disney Plus.
True.
She-Hulk, less said the better. Though there are things in She-Hulk I like, but at the same time, the more I look back on it, it's like She-Hulk to me, it's one of those shows that will moderately entertain me while I was watching, but will piss me off or annoy me the more I start to think about it. So, yeah, there's that. And so yeah,
gonna change your rating on it?
Right now, I have it as a shoulder shrug emoji, and that's where I'm keeping it. Because, like I said, there's things I like and things I didn't like. So, but yeah. Oh, and do right by your visual effects artists too, by the way. Marvel. Yeah. It's like y'all so busy trying to get out the next project that y'all not giving these visual effects artists enough time to perfect it, and we see that in She-Hulk, so I'm trying to think.
You sure you're not gonna change the rating of She-Hulk? Drop it down a level or two?
Nah. I want to say I've seen worse, and I really have seen worse. But the fact that the CGI on She-Hulk, that was like, to me, that was like the 4th or 5th thing that was wrong with that show. So
we should add a 7th one. A 7th one.
All right. You got some too?
Yeah, lucky number 7. I believe that when Marvel does their movies, they should have their team, require their team to read some of the source material. That way they know what their characters usually do, don't do, how they should act, this and that, or things. Because I did notice some characters just, they're off for some odd reason. They're off for some odd reason. Or I feel like they're doing something that they wouldn't have done before in the movies or something like that. I can't pinpoint it, but it's something like that changed. I don't know if it was the writing that did it, or it's because the person before him didn't watch the past movies, or didn't read the source material, or just didn't give a damn.
All right. I think one example that I think you might be thinking of, are you tired of the horrible daddy trope in Marvel movies? Or horrible parent trope in Marvel movies?
I guess, sure. That does maybe. I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, because for some reason my mind went to Moon Knight, and I know you didn't finish that show, and you stopped right when the show really was getting good. And
what get good at what?
because spoiler alert, but the episode that you didn't watch, it goes into Moon Knight, his backstory in his childhood, and how his mother was an abusive asshole to him. So, and that's where I got the thought of you tired of the horrible parent trope. So, but then I forgot you didn't even watch that episode. So,
and for Moon Knight, honestly, that's probably what it was. Moon Knight, something just felt so wrong with Moon Knight. Yes, he was, for the lack of better words, schizophrenic. I think Moon Knight was schizophrenic, and he has a tendency to use drugs every now and then. But because of that, he is basically the worst version of Batman, which made Moon Knight so fun. Because he would do things that Batman would do, but a bit more brutally. And he was just a regular man, too. Apart from Khonshu.
But to go back to what you were suggesting, so you're saying you want all the writers for the movies or TV or whatever, you're saying you want all your writers to have read the comics or have knowledge of whatever they're
some base knowledge. Just some base knowledge. Just honestly, some base knowledge. It doesn't have to just be the writers too. It can be some of the actors too. That way they understand their characters better, that they're acting out. And I'm saying this because didn't Disney Plus announce that they're going to do Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball adaptation or something like that?
I mean, it's on certain corners of the news, but I'll believe that when I actually see it. So.
Yeah. The reason I thought of that is because I thought of Dragon Ball Evolution. Nobody in that cast knew the source material at all, and we got the trash that was Dragon Ball Evolution. Supposedly, what was his name? What was that?
All right, let's not get into Dragon Ball Evolution.
Not even Dragon Ball. It was Last Airbender.
No, let's not get into that. Stop. No, I don't need no more of your pessimism to.
No. It's terrible.
No. And besides, we all have trauma from both those movies combined. So just stop.
I just don't want to add another incident. That's it.
Yeah. But as far as the actors goes, I mean, I see what you're saying, but honestly, I don't really require the actors to have next to all the knowledge of the characters. I mean, let's be real. How much knowledge of Iron Man do you really think Robert Downey Jr. had?
I'm sure he had some base knowledge because he did Iron Man perfectly.
Yeah, but let's be real. The only reason he was perfect in that role because he basically is Tony Stark personality wise. So that's what I mean. Like, I don't require all the actors to have all the knowledge about it.
I'm not saying all the knowledge, just base knowledge, just basics, just the basic stuff.
Yeah, and like even Chris Evans. I mean, before he played Captain America, he was the Human Torch, and I will say like even in Fantastic Four, he played a good Human Torch, and he was good to play Captain America. So, but like for the writers, I agree. Just for the actors, I don't require because again, how many like actors that have portrayed superheroes, can you really say all of them had base knowledge of the characters they were playing? No, not really. You really think Jennifer... Okay, not bad example. You really think Rebecca Romijn had knowledge of Mystique? The original Mystique?
Oh, wasn't it? Probably not, but I know Hugh Jackman knew who Wolverine was.
Good point.
The pessimist strikes again.
All right, how much knowledge do you think Josh Brolin had before he played Thanos?
Now that's a good question.
Exactly.
I honestly don't know.
So yeah, those are our 7 things that Marvel can do to improve. I want to again, even though you said some things I didn't necessarily agree with, you did make some good points, and so yeah, I want to thank you again for coming on, Dave.
Obviously, you're welcome, Brad. You're welcome.
Anything you want to say to the camera before you roll out?
Let's see. Everybody saw the bet. Phase 4 was trash. How was Phase 4? What is Phase 5 looking like again? Let's
Well,
refresh
for,
our
well,
eyes.
for this year alone, we got Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania,
Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Jesus.
I really don't want to say this because I can already tell you're going to cringe when I say this. The Marvels.
As in Captain Marvel and
Yeah, and
Miss
Miss Marvel and Photon or whatever Monica Rambeau's going to be.
how the hell that work?
What do you mean, how the hell that work?
Didn't their movie suck? How that get through?
Okay, no. Miss Marvel, she had a TV show.
I know. Okay, you understand what I'm saying. Miss Marvel had you said it yourself. the
Okay,
lowest
okay.
viewership.
Even though it had lower viewership, it still was critically a hit. So that'll trump everything. And plus, they could use this movie to do some damage control, not only for Miss Marvel, but for Captain Marvel, and for the character in both Brie Larson. So, but the number one reason I'm really even interested in Miss Marvel is because of Photon, because I love me some Tiana Parrish. So.
That's probably the only reason it's going through because Brie Larson just shot herself in the leg, not the foot, the leg.
Yeah, yeah, I'll admit. But as far as TV shows go, we got What If Season 2, Secret Invasion, Loki Season 2, the Echo show that comes out sometime this year.
What?
Echo is a character from Hawkeye, the one that's that don't talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's all I remember for TV shows for this year. But yeah. So, but since there is some things changing up at Disney, I am hopeful that somehow Marvel is gonna just gradually get better. So, and I'm excited for Ant-Man and the Wasp because of Kang alone. So, and this is gonna be the swan song for the Guardians of the Galaxy and James Gunn's swan songs before he fully
Moves over to DC.
yeah. so we'll see. So, again, thank you, David, and thank you so much for watching this video. And if you like this video, like, comment, and share it, and subscribe, please. I'm your host, Bankful B. This is the Lassiter Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands, peace.